Alright, this is totally not the second time I'm recording this, because for some reason my audio totally wasn't not recording. So, I wrote this down. I wrote this all up. And decided it'd be more fun if I were to record it, instead of just giving you guys big old wall of text. Because I wanted to talk about my first ever 3.0. I mean, it's just an Armoury, but it still felt good. And I think the games that I played were really fun. There's a bunch of really cool stuff happening in them. And yeah, I feel like I did this better the first time. I live in Bristol, and the Bristol scene is actually quite big. Tonight we had 28 players, which is obviously like pretty good, especially for a card game, especially for a card game with a buy-in like Flesh and Blood. But yeah, crazy stuff. So it was played 3 rounds. Round 1 was Puffin, round 2 was Vynnset, and round 3 was Victor. So yeah. And yeah, Victor, round 3. Bristol is Fatigue Guardian Central. It's even worse now than it used to be. Back in apparently, because I'm quite new to the scene, but apparently back in the day, Fatigue Guardian was still quite popular. But it was a case of, if you got through round 1, you would dodge them. However, so if you went 0-1, you were put into the Fatigue Guardian pool. However, nowadays you can go 1-0, you can go 2-0, it doesn't matter. No matter where you are, you will encounter a Fatigue Guardian. And it's genuinely a very, I want to say, interesting part of the Bristol meta game. Because people just kind of like play what they want. You have your, here's your Prism player, and here's your Verdance player. RIP my Florian players, I feel bad for you guys. But yeah, it was really great. There were like 3 Puffins today, 2 Vynnsets. Yeah, I wasn't the only one, because, well, I played against him. But yeah, anyway, so game 1 was against Puffin. And honestly, it wasn't that notable. It was some good play, don't get me wrong, but it was mostly just, I'll value block, I'll send 8 at you, you'll value block, you'll send 8 at me, and it was just sort of that sort of back and forth. I got to a point where I got some really crucial Succumb to Temptations through. I got, I think 2 good Succumbs through, as well as, some really well-timed culls and some well-timed Widespread Annihilations as well. So just, really valuable 2 wide or, high damage 1 wide turns with, Besiege the Demagon. I still went down to 1 life each, because that's just how Vynnset plays. But yeah, I still came out on top. The second game was the Vynnset Mirror, and that was genuinely quite interesting. So unfortunately, I was on the draw, so I'm a Magic player. I went second, and he went first. Not great. Fortunately, I had a Malefic in hand, and he didn't. So, his turn 0 is Banish Pass. Oh, I think it was Banish Arsenal Pass. And then I was able to Banish Malefic, Arsenal Pass, and draw up. I was able to get 2 Malefics down on the field, I think. But every single time I get a hand that is worth keeping, worth soaking damage for, I get disrupted. And it's brutal. It's I take the Rune Chance, he sends Annihilation at me, I take the Rune Chance, and then he succumbs to Temptation on top. And it's oh, there goes my entire hand. And this happens 2 or 3 times I eat really bad disruption. I think I'm only able to send 2 or 3 attacks across the course of the game before the final turn. I send 3 attacks. But fortunately, there are a few key things. Firstly, on I think turn 4, my opponent popped Quill Hand. Which immediately I'm thinking, they've not found a single Malefic, thank God, and Quill Hand's gone. All I have to do is draw my blues, which I do. I'm really glad I run quite a few blues because of this. Draw my blues, which I do, and then just block out and wait for the brick. And honestly, the pain of Vynnset bricking I felt. But I send maybe 2 or 3 attacks over the course of the game. By the final turn, I'm at like low 10, if that. Might be lower. And he is at, I want to say, high teens. He bricks. I've got 2 yellow Deathly Whales in Banish. I'm not able to do much with them. I've got 1 Rune Chant. And I draw double Shadow Puppetry, a blue Deathly Whale, and a Phantom Banshee. Again, with 2 yellow whales in Banish. At this point, I've got a Malefic with 1 counter on field, and 1 Rune Chant. And I really want to keep this hand. This hand is the key. My opponent bricks. Thank God. Gives me my full 4-card hand. I banish the Banshee up to 3 Rune Chants. I play first Shadow Puppetry. I Deathly Whale. Obviously, I pay to my hero ability. Malefic pops, 1 in the back. He takes the Rune Chants and then blocks out the Deathly Whale, which came in for like 6 because of Shadow Puppetry. Happy days. Close chain, create 3 more Rune Chants. This is where I misplay. So, the correct play would have been to Shadow Puppetry again, send the second yellow Deathly Whale, and then, do whatever, close chain, crack Quill Hand, and then send Banshee for 4 and 7. Instead, what I do, which is incorrect, but still pays off, close the chain, I played the second Shadow Puppetry, and then I sent Phantom Banshee. So I sent Phantom Banshee for like 3 and 8, which is still really good. Puppetry, he blocks 6, he takes 2. Puppetry trigger. Oh, look at that. Widespread Ruin off the top. Close the chain. Crack Quill Hand for the 2 Rune Chants, and then send the Widespread Ruin for 2 and 8, which is exact lethal. So I probably could have played a bit better. Again, especially in that last sequence. But otherwise, game was incredibly clutch. It was as Vynnset as it gets. Opponent had full tempo, bricked once or twice because of decisions made earlier in the game, and I was able to steal victory from the jaws of defeat. We move on to Game 3. Game 3 was against a Victor. I got to go first. Went all in on the Mordred list. We're running 3 Funeral Moons, 3 Mordred Tides. Bought in the Aura package. My Sonatas, my Rune Blood, etc. I think I brought both Sinks, 1 Reduced to Rune Chant, and 1 Haunting Rendition. Into Fatigue Guardians, I like bringing my Sinks because, it helps unbrick hands. And I thought I kind of just had space left, and I didn't want to clog up my deck with attack actions with the Widespread Destructions in my sideboard. So I just put in So I put in Reduce to Rune Chant, which obviously helps you recover after a big turn when you're if you have to go on the defensive, and also Haunting Rendition because it blocks 4 or it creates me a Rune Chant. It's always good. So yeah, unfortunately for me, this Victor out the gate starts swinging at me with he's very happy to start sending 10 damage swings, 8, 9, what have you, big crush attacks. So I'm sort of blocking. I make a really big misplay early on. So I get to a point where I have maybe 2 Malefics on field. And I'm sort of succumbing to his pressure because I succumb to pressure like tissue paper under tap water. So what I do is I send this. It's not a good turn. It was like Wraith, Pop Creatures, Shadow Puppetry, Eulogy Flail. It was a dinky turn. It was not good. Biggest misplay of my life. I'll never do it again. But it does give me the tempo that I need. So I think the decision, whilst bad, could have been worse. It gives me the tempo I need to start building a better board state. I get to a point where I have 4 Malefics. But before then, I get to a point where I have 4 Rune Chants. and I draw Oblivion. So I'm able to crack Will Hand, summon Nazareth, and from there the game really snowballs in my favour. Because my opponent really failed. Like, I think the turns where he could remove Nazareth, he didn't have the damage, which is strange. Or if he did have the damage, he just chose to send it at me. I think he decided that he wanted to race me. He decided that he would wait for my big turns, block those out, and otherwise just swing, however much at me. But I get to a point where I've got 4 Malefics on board and a Runeblood Incantation. It is crazy board state. And I pull my Mordred Tide. I take big damage, drop Mordred Tide. My banish is really awkward. It's like a Deathly Delight and a Cull. I've got like 8 rune chants on field. So I swing... Oh no, I think it might have been 6. No, it was 7. It was 7 because I played Nazareth the previous turn. I send Deathly Delight for like 7 and 5, and he full pitches to it and blocks it out with equipment, which kind of sucked. I did make 8 rune chants on the back end, which is really good, but my turn kind of died because I was looking to pitch to Book to Cull, and then send Nazareth or something else. But it was okay. I still had an 8 rune chants on the back, so it was totally fine. And he had no hand. So I'm able to go into the next turn with 9 rune chants, which is like messed up. My hand comes up Cull, Funeral Moon, Painful Passage, Sonata Galaxia. Awkward. But not terrible. I got 3 Tunic I got 3 charges on Tunic, we're chilling. Opponent sends a big attack at me. I think it comes in for like 10. I'm only able to block 4 because I block with Sonata and I block with Face Purg. No trigger on Face Purg, which sucked. But it keeps me alive. I drop down to, I think, about 7. From there it comes to my turn. We banish the Funeral Moon. We play Painful Passage. We pay to the hero ability. We then pitch Tunic to Grimoire. And we go Cull, Funeral Moon, generate 3 AP. Beautiful turn. Rip 2 cards away. It's over. The game is done. I think it's just like a yellow. It was either I think it was a yellow whale, but it was like 9 and 5, which is crazy good. We said 9 and 5. It means he's got 2 cards in hand. I got 3 AP. I think he just chooses to take the rune chance and he blocks what he can with equipment. So he pitches to the rune chance, full blocks the delight with equipment, and then I just swing Nazareth, and then I swing with Flail, and the Flail comes in for like, it was 4 rune chants and 1. It was really good. Oh no, it was a Deathly Whale. Yeah, I do remember. So I got to swing the Flail for like 6 and 1 after the Nazareth came in for 6. It was a crazy turn. I think it would have presented 9, 14, 20. It was a good 27 damage turn. It wasn't bad. It was okay. But yeah, from there, opponent's complete back foot. I'm able to just send Nazareth, demanding 2 cards from hand every turn. It was beautiful. I'm now ticking down to Grimoire damage, and I'm in single digits. It's not great. Following turn, I'm forced to just banish a Deathly Delight. I've got no rune chance. It's rough. But the following hand comes up. It comes up Red Whale, Shadow Puppetry, Blood Moon. 2 Blood Moons, and a Sink Below in my arsenal. Opponent sends Spinal Crush at me for 10, looking to just hopefully try and close out the game. And I'm able to just block with Blood Moon, block with Deathly Whale, take 3 down to like 2. It was rough. I choose not to sink. It comes back to my turn. Opponent's at like 2 life. Banish the Deathly Whale, go up to 2 rune chance. Play Shadow Puppetry, pay my life, play the Funeral Moon at instant speed up to 3, and then just send Deathly Whale for 3 and 7, 1 unpreventable. He goes down to 1, pitches 2, blocks 7 with his other 3 cards, and it's complete checkmate from there. It's either Nazareth for 6 that you can't block, or Deathly Whale for 2 and 5. And yeah, that was the game. those were my games. I high rolled like absolute crazy when I had to. especially in the Victor game, my Shadow Puppetries popped up when I needed them. Same with just like the rest of the cards. The deck just played really nice for me, whilst not being too like front loaded, which is always good. Yeah, crazy high rolls. I love it when RNG makes my D tier hero B tier.